Good afternoon. It is an atrocious day, so it's perfect for me to take off the tank of the Bonneville, take off the Bonneville badges, and also reset the ECU. So I'm going to run over to the Bonneville, put it into its new storage, and get to work. I've also got a mountain of biking gear that I've got to go through because we're now completely moved out of Ipswich. We did our fourth and final trip over there, and I've got to go through everything. I'm going to make the most of this because tomorrow the weather's glorious, so I'm definitely heading out into the country on the Bonneville tomorrow. London. The first video from Blackheath, we witnessed a theft in a shop, and now I had to leave my bike outside, bear in mind, for the best part of a week, to be fair, and I haven't ridden it in 2 days, and of course there's been an attempted theft. This is like the most perfect advert for Lightlock, although this is in no way an advert, but that is my Lightlock. Went down to the bike just now, as you can see in the video, and someone's tried to angle grind all the way along. Hopefully you can see that. All the way along here, tried to angle grind, and then tried to, I don't know, some motorized hammer or angle grind into the corner of the lock as well. But being a Lightlock, I think these are actually English made. Being a Lightlock with a fearsome reputation for safety, no damage on the metal. I mean, that really is incredible. I don't know if this zooms in properly, but no damage at all. They've just got past the rubber bit on the edge. So it's still a completely usable lock. But there you go, just shows in London, well, for one, of course, you have to lock your bike and you really have to keep it in a lockup of some sort. It's just lucky that I had my best lock on the bike. I kept it there in clear view outside Starbucks, thinking no one's going to try and angle grind it here in front of everyone. But of course, it's London and things don't work like that in London. So what I need to do now, I'll forget about that though. Bike's fine. As long as I've got the Lightlock, it's completely fine. And from now on, it will be in a lockup. What I need to do now, to sort out the ECU issue, the ridiculously rich running fuel, I need to turn off the fast idle control here. I need to make sure that everything's just normal. So no excess revs or anything like that. Turn on the ignition, fire up the bike, leave it for 20 minutes without touching the throttle at all. Turn off the bike and then turn the bike back on. Give it a few revs and that should sort out the ECU. Here we go. Something's going on with this bike. The fuel light is constantly on now. And as you can see, I just turned the key and the bike fired up without pressing the ignition. No ignition at all. Okay. I'll leave it for 20 minutes to hopefully dry out. Maybe it's been in the rain for 7 days straight now and the electrics have gone a bit messed up. 20 minutes, I'll leave it like this. Hopefully it will sort itself out. While the bike's running for 20 minutes, let me give you a closer look at what they did to my lock. So they must have tried angle grinding through, and they got through all of the rubber in this section here, but no indentation at all to the metal behind it, nothing at all. Then they must have tried to go for this bit to try and get through the section where the two bits of metal meet, this one and this one. But again, the camera won't quite pick that up, but not even an indentation in the metal. And that's the lock section there, so that's completely unharmed. I think they probably thought there's no point even trying to get through with that bit. Wow. What a thing though. What a thing. You know, I can hear it and smell it. It's running too rich. Possibly the revs are too high. It's just a bit too frantic. It doesn't settle down into a nice little thud, thud, thud. It's not calm enough at the moment. There's about 8 minutes left or so, and I'm really hoping this sorts it out, because just listening to it now, fully warmed up, nah, it's not right at the moment. Oh, that's interesting. On, as near as makes no difference, 20 minutes on the dot, maybe 10 seconds out, the engine just turned itself off. It's not that hot. So either that's a complete coincidence that it turned off at 20 minutes, or there's something built into Triumphs that you can reset the ECUs by leaving it on for 20 minutes, and then something inside here, inside the software, or in the software, will turn the bike off at 20 minutes when the bike is settled, reset. So now I have to wait for 5 minutes, and this is thanks to Andy. Andy, thank you for the email with this information. Now I have to wait for 5 minutes, let the bike settle, turn it on, few revs, and let's see what happens. But was that a coincidence or not? The bike turning off. Just on a side note, I should mention, I know I'm stating the obvious, but my lord, bikes do not like being left outside in the pouring rain for extended periods of time. Yes, I'm stating the obvious, but honestly, I've never had anything like this before, where you turn the key and the bike fires up by itself. That has to be, I mean, I was about to say it has to be the weather. I guess it could be someone trying to steal it and doing something to it, but let's say it's the weather. Here we go. Sounds very strange. Very, very strange sound there. Completely different to what usually happens. And I can hear the software or something ticking away, and the bike didn't start itself just by turning the key. Numerous different sounds coming from inside the bike that I've never heard before. Now it went. Okay. Now it won't start. Was it just overheated for 20 minutes? And now it's protecting itself. Not that hot. Okay. I'll lock it up in the lockup and come back later. What will have changed later? No idea. I've seen a few of your comments on some of the previous videos saying, Freddie, why do you persevere with the Bonneville when it's just becoming fairly unreliable? And I've thought the Bonneville is reliable enough, just with a few little niggles, but now I don't know what's going on downstairs. I'll try it this evening. Maybe I'll take the battery out, but it can't be the battery. It's had a long ride. Now I'm starting to get annoyed, actually, because if I have to do some other decent sized job because it's not starting down there, I'm going to get really annoyed. And it reminds me of when I had my Suzuki Bandit. It's a 2002 model, carved, electric blue. I kind of hated it, but it was okay. And it just became so unreliable. It was 50-50 if it would actually get me to where I wanted to go. And Monika would have a running joke where I'd go out for a ride or go for a weekend on the Bandit and she'd be like, okay, I'll see you in 2 minutes, because it would break down. And I'd always have to carry a full tool set everywhere I went with this Bandit. And it got to a point where it just wasn't enjoyable because it was so unreliable. And if the Bonneville starts becoming anything like that at all, no, I'm getting another bike, because for me, I'm not the kind of person that likes specifically working on a bike over riding a bike. I'm just not that way inclined at all. I need something, first and foremost, on a level with looking good and making me feel good. I need something that's reliable and that I just know will start. And I was so angry, actually. I marched upstairs and immediately I went on to Auto Trader just to see the kinds of things that I could get. If the Bonneville stops being a decent everyday bike that you can just trust, I've got 3 bikes that I would consider. And I know I could get these bikes because, you know, they're good value bikes. The first is the BSA Gold Star. You know, you can get these for decent value. They've come down. I'll just tell you before I head off. Monika's looking at me now. She can tell how furious I am. She says, I hate this. It's just a waste of time having a bike that doesn't work. Yeah, I do love looking at bikes, any excuse. Okay, Monika, we'll go to, I'll tell you what, to cheer myself up, we'll go into Greenwich for coffee after this. But let me just tell you the price of the bikes I want. BSA Gold Star. Nope, I'm not looking at the classics. Doesn't interest me. Forget about it. £4,800. BSA Gold Star, 1 year old. Monika, you like that?
Not sure.
See, I like that. That's a bit left field. Second, Royal Enfield Classic 350. Down on power compared to the BSA, but I know this bike. It's a very, very good bike. It's extremely easy to live with. And I'll tell you the price for one of these. Classic 350. Much easier to live with than the 500. I can pick up one in the colour that I've had many times, the red and chrome. Oh, this is almost a no-brainer. Monika, it's a no-brainer. £3,175. That bike will not let me down. It's only got 1,000 miles on the clock. And I'll do one final one here. Harley Davidson Sport Glide. That's £10,000. Monika's a horrible influence. Horrible influence. It's a good idea as well, Monika, to get an expensive bike, seeing as they get stolen about attempted theft twice a day. So that's a good level-headed idea. I'll show you one final one. Monika, I'll keep that on the back burner. Okay, Triumph not a Tiger. Speedmaster 1200 has to be in the list. I love this bike. Speedmaster 1200, price low to high, £7,900. Okay, so 3,000, 5,000, 8,000. £3,000 gap between, or 3,000, 5,000, 8,000. 2,000 gap, 3,000 gap between the three of them. Okay, that's enough of that. Oh, I'll show you one thing before I go into Greenwich with Monika. I have to show you this because I was emptying all the stuff from Ipswich, bringing it in all here. It's amazing what you dig out. I haven't seen this in 2 years. This is, I say it's my original. This is my original biking jacket. I remember when I passed my test and I was working at B&Q with Tony. And Tony's an Irish biker, and he really got me into biking, and he would share different films, and he even gave me some of his gear just to get me into biking. And he told me to watch the Wild One with Marlon Brando, black and white biking film. And then he gave me his classic leather biking jacket that looked identical to this. So I watched the Wild One with Marlon Brando, black and white film, loved it, loved everything about it. Tony then gave me his classic jacket that looked like this, but unfortunately it was too big for me. So the first thing I did, I went out to J&S Accessories. I'd been riding for 3 months at the time. I had this awful looking jacket, but couldn't picture the type of jacket I wanted. So then I thought, right, I know what I want. I need one of these, but in my size. So I went to J&S Accessories 13 years ago, and I picked up this exact jacket. And even though I haven't worn it for 2 years now, it's my favourite jacket, and it's got proper memories, this. This is a jacket for life. I don't really wear leather jackets anymore, but this is, it's very special. And it builds up a patina over time. I need to wear this. I need to wear it soon. The problem is it's bad in the summer because it's too hot. It's bad in the winter because it's too cold. It's not waterproof, but when you just look at it. Thought we'd save Greenwich for another time because I don't know how long my speech on looking for a new bike was, but I've got a feeling I could have rambled on for quite a long time. So Greenwich, sunset ride maybe, we'll save that for another time. And of course, assuming that the Bonneville starts. If I don't get the Bonneville started, and I promise I'll stop whining straight after this, if I don't get the Bonneville started tonight, I really think I'm going to just look for a new bike. Absolute maximum, 3 years old. I'm done with old bikes. 3 years old, I just need something that starts. I'm still in the phase of being very, very angry. Because if I have to drop the Bonneville off and a mechanic again and leave it a mechanic for weeks again, no, not going to happen. I cannot face another extended period at a mechanic's. I have to fix it myself tonight, or I don't want to talk too much, but that may be it. So we'll see. Anyway, we're in Monika's favourite place.
What? No.
Blue Water Shopping Centre. We have a delicious sandwich. If you come to Blue Water, I mean, this is hardly doing a touristy trip, but Joe and the Juice sandwiches, these are delicious. And if I could just pan the camera over to Monika's face, you would see the biggest smile on her face because she's back in her favourite spot. So we'll wrap it up there. I will keep you posted with how the Bonneville goes. I feel numb. I'll keep you posted. Thanks so much everyone for watching, and we'll see you all in the next one, hopefully on the Bonneville. Beautiful ride into the Kent countryside.
Yes.
Or final one, or if not, ride into the Kent countryside, a motorcycle dealership.